An exciting adventure game with potentially infinite unique replay value? Let's check it out. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Tabletop 5s. Today we are reviewing Destinies by Lucky Duck Games. Adam, what is this game all about?
So in Destinies, you play as a character trying to, figure out your destiny. And you're on a race with each other to figure out your destiny first. Everybody gets to take characters based on the scenario that you choose. There's a lot of scenarios to choose from. And so in that, you take your little figurine, and then you get resources based on what you start with. And in this game, you can collect items. This is an app-driven game. And so you have QR codes on your character, on a dark side of your destiny, a light side of your destiny, and you're wandering through this massive adventure world to complete your destinies by doing tasks, working, searching for clues on what your destiny is, and failing at your destiny. And you're trying to get successes by your rolling dice, and you're trying to get a high enough success in order to essentially win that task or beat that objective.
In favor with
exactly. And then so if you don't roll high enough success, you don't succeed. So, and then there's negative consequences. And so this is actually a 1 to 3 player game, and you're all racing to do your destiny. And then you could also get Bound by Fate, which makes it 2 versus 2, and you play on teams. And it's super cool.
So what I like about this game is kind of something you said, where this is an exploration, it's an open world game, it's a game of discovery.
Yeah.
So it's kind of laid out. You have lots of series of tiles that are first mainly blank. They have a little bit of artistic, scenery on them, but you don't know what's there. So as you go to these spaces, you flip them over, and then you're going to reveal what's there. You're going to reveal what people you're talking to. You're going to reveal what places you can go. And it really kind of opens this up into, you really do get to set your own destiny.
Yeah,
you really get your own path.
You're definitely choosing your own adventure. Like one tile could have 4 different locations to explore. And just because you went there doesn't mean that you're going to achieve anything. And also, a lot of times, too, you're opening more things for your opponents to check out, which is fun and frustrating all at the same time.
And all of this is structured around the app.
Yeah.
So the computer is the dungeon master, which I think is something fantastic with the game. Yeah. That means that you and your friends can all play together, and not one person stuck being the dungeon master while the other 2 are the players.
Yeah.
So because it's the dungeon master, decisions that you make are automatically calculated by the algorithm to change different things in the game. So you could go to one location and you could get one set of text, and then you do something across the map and you go back to the location, and it will update how that character is going to react based on what you did.
Or it will be gone.
Or it will be gone. Yes, things can disappear.
So if you don't do it initially, or you fail enough times, it's just you're done. There's always multiple ways, though, to complete your destiny.
Exactly.
And so that's a really cool replayability, because you've never found everything. Maybe you have, but I haven't. But you've never found everything there is to do in that scenario.
Right.
So there's a high replayability for sure.
Absolutely. The other great thing is it comes with lots of little characters that are really detailed, which actually leads into a little bit of a struggle, because what happens is that it'll tell you, go pull out the woodcutter, but it doesn't tell you in which box the woodcutter is, so you're limited to try to figure out the little characters.
Picking up all these little characters, trying to see if the guy's holding a piece of wood.
Exactly. It doesn't take too long, but it is a little bit of, a struggle. Obviously, you don't want to represent the woodcutter by this massive giant character. That would be silly.
Which these are, the bosses in this game are amazing detail. They're beautiful. And you take a look at this, they're huge. Massive against the little woodcutter character. But I also, at the same time, having the minis in the game, for me, does complete the feeling. I also have the player mat and the metal coins, and and the mat player boards too. It just makes the whole game, when we play, we put out the massive laptop screen, we put speakers, and so this just overall surrounding sucks you into this amazing world. So,
right. And you're totally immersed, and it's kind of one of those, the more you immerse yourself in it, the more you really get out of it, which is like any game. Yeah. And it's just, on the whole, fantastic.
Right. You do need to take notes.
Yes.
So this is the base game. The base game is wonderful. There's also 2 to 3 more expansions coming out.
Right. I would say in the base game, you're probably good as is.
Yeah, I don't think you need to take a lot of notes.
But the expansions, they add complexity, which is actually a lot of fun for a choose your own adventure.
Tons of fun.
But I wish they put a little warning that said, hey, you probably want to take notes as you're going along.
Yeah.
Because you could go to somewhere and they say something very cryptic that then 30 minutes later you go to somewhere else and you need to remember that cryptic thing they said. Once we realized that, we took notes, I think we were fine.
Yeah, it's a lot of information at points where like you don't even know you need to know this information, and then like you do something and it's like, what happened in the swamp did you save the little girl? Did they go left or right? Yep. And then you spend 35 minutes in the swamp going the wrong direction because you didn't write it down.
But again, it leads right into leads right into the theme of the game. It's a story game, it's an adventure game, it's an exploration game. So there's going to be lots of information that you're going to have to discover and figure out as you go along. Yeah. So remembering all that is part of the game.
For sure.
And of course, you can still succeed and do well without having to take meticulous notes.
Yeah.
It's just you might get stuck on a specific thing and take a little bit longer to get through it.
There is also a lot of luck. So Jason rolls all amazing every time. In every luck-based game, I don't roll dice well. So it gets stuck sometimes because I'm just sucking at rolling.
But even with that, we're usually only 1 or 2 turns behind each other towards the end.
I trip a lot at the finish line to my destiny. Yeah.
So the other thing about this game, and I hinted at in the intro, this has potentially unlimited replay value because the fact that it is an app-based DM. They actually had a program a while back, a content creator giveaway, where they asked people to submit their own content, their own stories that the company would pay for. And that would release whole new scenarios. And in fact, they have it in multiple languages.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them now. There's like they did a content creator scenario giveaway and people made their own scenarios for Destinies, and they're playable now, which is really cool. So hopefully they continue to, there's like you were saying, there's replayability infinite amount because they can just keep making scenarios.
Exactly.
There's also, they just had a Kickstarter a couple months ago, and they were launching a new expansion called Witchwood, which looks amazing. And it also holds all of the minis in like little drawers. So I think that's going to be really cool and helpful. If they label them, will be even better.
Yes.
Throw out Lucky Duck if you watch this. Label the minis, please. It'd be awesome. But yeah, I love the game. We love it. It's like always our go-to, like, hey, what? And then it's easy to teach people. Like new people, you never played Dungeons and Dragons, you've never played a lot of board games. Like it's super easy. So I love it. And so that's our first impressions of Destinies. Subscribe, like, share, and as always, thanks for watching. Check you next time.